Hello, welcome to Around the Clock. I'm your host, Yolanda Greaves. Today we have a very special guest with us. This is Chris Curtis. Chris, welcome to Around the Clock.
Thank you.
Chris is here to share his story and talk about some of the wellness program that he has created. Chris, thank you for coming.
Very welcome.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in town.
Yeah, we moved into town, I was saying earlier, in 1990.
Okay.
And really kind of fell upon the town because my wife had worked at Leahy Clinic. I was working in Providence, and
oh, wow.
Drove through Ashland and fell in love with it. And we've been here ever since and raised two boys that went up through the Ashland school system. They're now 24 and 26 and out on their own. And like I said, it's been a great experience for us living in Ashland.
Yeah, Ashland really has a lot to offer, great public schools.
Yeah.
But we're here to talk to you about you. You were diagnosed with cancer 4 years ago. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was when I turned 50, I went for a colonoscopy, and during the colonoscopy they found a tumor, which was diagnosed as colon cancer. It spread, so I had stage 4 colon cancer at that point.
Wow.
So at that point, you know, we call it Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Our family life shifted a little bit, and so I went into Dana-Farber, which is an amazing place with just very special people, and I've been treated it there ever since. So it's been, like I said, there's been a lot of positives with cancer with me, which seems kind of strange for someone to say, but you know, that's kind of what led us to start the foundation. And
okay, so let's go into what is the foundation.
Yeah, the foundation is actually Team Cork, and my nickname is Corky, so that's hence the name. And the reason why we started it was being a patient at Dana-Farber. You get exposed to, every 2 weeks you're in there for chemo for 4 or 5 hours, and one of the things that I noticed is, you know, I'm blessed with support from family, friends, college classmates, high school classmates. When I got sick, a lot of people came back in my life that I reconnected with that, you know, I wouldn't have otherwise reconnected with, which is why I say there are blessings associated with it. And having all this support, you know, when you go into Dana-Farber, you know, we would see people that were in their 60s that were there alone for their cancer treatments, and, you know, trying to, you know, get the news that you get, trying to physically go through the treatments. Yeah. It's a lot, and to not have any support, it makes it even tougher. So we, one day we were sitting there, and actually there was a woman that was probably in her 70s, very well dressed, and, you know, could tell that, you know, she was a classy woman, and she's sitting there all alone. Aww. And so that just triggered me to say, geez, there's something. Why am I so blessed with all the support? You know, let's try to do something for those people that don't have support. So that's the reason why we started Team Cork, and it was incorporated probably a year ago in June. Okay. And then we just got started, and we have a bunch of different things that we do.
So what are some of the things that you do to provide support for these victims?
Well, there's three things that we look at. One is awareness. One is providing support through financial donations, and the third is really providing direct support. So the awareness piece is really to reach out to people through our events and make sure that everybody gets their cancer screenings when they should. You know, one of the things about cancer is that if you catch it early, it's very curable. Right. A lot of people are reluctant to go because they don't want to find out they have it. But so at the end of the day, we try to reach out to everybody that goes to our charity events on, you know, make sure you get your screenings, don't delay. So really that piece of awareness is make sure for yourself that you're doing all the right things. The second piece of awareness is, you know, if you know someone with cancer, reach out. I mean, I can't tell you, you know, we start, my Thursdays are chemo days, and we'll leave Ashland about 6 in the morning, and I'll start getting texts, you know, from college roommates, friends. That's hey, great. Good luck today, we're thinking of you. And I try to stress to people, don't underestimate the power of what you can do by reaching out to someone. And it can be a text, it can be dropping off a meal, it can be, you know, anything that you want it to be. But I said that support gives the people the strength to get through the, you know, their day. So, you know, at our events, we challenge everybody in the room, say, set a goal for yourself and reach out to someone with cancer, whether it's once a week, once a month, something that you can attain.
What a great challenge.
And it, like I said, when people hear that you have cancer, they think that the only thing they can do is cure it for you. But there's so many other things that people can do to help cancer patients, so that by reaching out and providing that awareness to reach out to people, that's kind of the awareness piece. The second piece is we do fundraising events, but we do fun events. You know, my big thing is I don't want to have a fundraising event where someone says, I'm just going to write a check. Right. So we try to do things that are a lot of fun, that are physically active, and we get a lot of people out. So we host a bowling event in the winter.
Oh, fun.
Where we rent a bowling alley and everybody bowls together, and we go out and have a nice dinner. And then in the summertime is our big event. We just had it 2 weeks ago. We have a golf tournament. Okay. And we have 144 golfers and then 200 people for dinner. So we kind of have a fun day and spend it together. And the money that's raised through those events is donated to Dana-Farber to the cancer patient programs.
Okay.
What you find is that a lot of the money is donated to research to cure cancer, which is great, which is a good idea. But you know, there are a lot of people that are impacted by cancer. I've been blessed that I've been able to still work, but the patient programs basically fund things like alternative therapies, hotel stays, gas cards, food cards, and you hear stories about people that basically have to make a decision between, do I have chemo this week or do I buy fuel oil?
Wow.
So these programs basically provide them with the financial support to help their families get through it, because it's a tough enough thing to battle, you know, physically, mentally, and emotionally, without having the burden of, I can't work, so I can't pay my bills. So the fundraising piece really goes to those types of programs. And then the direct support that we provide is we started a wellness center on Route 9. We had a board meeting the beginning of this year, you know, and Lori Tosti's involved, and I know she's very active in the town. And I challenged Laurie and my wife. I said, let's do something for patients, an alternative program for patients within the Metro West community. So they went off and running, and they met with the Metro West Medical Center, who donated their wellness center to us one Saturday a month. And then my wife is a physical therapist and actually very active in that community. So she rounded up about 16 or so practitioners that donate their time once a month. And what we do is we have we call it Team Cork Wellness Day. So at the third Saturday of every month at the Metro West Medical Center on Route 9, we basically provide alternative therapies. So it's yoga, meditation, Reiki, craniosacral. It's all the things that, you know, directly may not cure the cancer, although you could argue that it would. But indirectly just provide people with that emotional release that they can battle it better. So we kicked it off probably about 4 or 5. We've had 4 or 5 of them, and it's going very well, and the people are enjoying it. So basically, if you're a cancer patient or a primary caregiver, you can come every third Saturday and get treatment for free. So there's no cost involved, there's no insurance. And like I said, one of the things we tried to do is reach out to primary caregivers, because what you find out is that they get neglected. So, you know, for instance, my wife, I'm going through cancer, and she sees that, and I argue that it's more difficult to see someone you love go through it than it is to go through it yourself. So what we try to do is include those people in the programs that we offer, because they have stress in their life too, and it's a way for them to relieve that stress. And so that's kind of Team Cork. We've been up and running for about 1.5 years. So we set pretty aggressive goals for ourselves to kind of keep things moving. And
well, I know you said that you like to do fundraising events that are fun, but we're going to get your website, and we're going to share it with our viewers, and if they're interested in donating, and or are you looking for people to help out on those Saturdays, whether it's registering people or?
teamcork.org is the website. So you can go to teamcork.org, and we just kicked that off, so it's up and running, but we want to definitely improve it as we go forward. If you want to volunteer, if you want to donate, there's information on the website on how to do that. By all means, if you want to volunteer, we'll definitely take your name. I mean, the problem that we have, which is a good problem, is so many people have volunteered. We have. You
got to rotate them through.
I mean, basically, and the other thing too is you don't want to have people just sitting around. So what we try to do is we take everybody's name and try to work them into the rotation, both practitioners, and we have registration people and people that just kind of help people, you know, navigate through the facility. So anything that you can do to help. And like I said, I would just encourage everybody that's watching, if you do know someone with cancer, after you see the show, just send them a text, reach out to them, let them know what you're thinking of them. And that's
teamcork.org. And the third Saturday of every month at the Wellness Center, which for some people it's also Southborough Medical of Framingham
right
on Route 9. Great. Well, Chris, thank you for sharing your story with us.
No, thank you very much.
We really appreciate it. And before I let you go, I have one question I ask all new guests on Around the Clock. It's not too hard. Is there something about you, Chris Curtis, that not too many people may know that you'd be willing to share with our viewers?
I think the fact that my nickname was Corky is
that's
one of them.
That's one I didn't know.
Not many people know that. And,
so if that's your nickname, why is it Corky?
When I was born, my brother and sister are 7 and 9 years older than me. So when I was born, my mother in an Irish family said, if he has red hair and freckles, we'll call him Corky. So what happened was I was born, I didn't have the red hair, I had the freckles, and my brother and sister liked the name, so it stuck. So that's kind of day one, and it's funny because growing up in grammar school, my report card said Corky on it.
Oh, wow.
I went to a Catholic grammar school, and it takes a while to catch up with you, so when I went to college, people call me Chris, and I walk right by him because I was
Right, because you weren't used to that.
And then some of your high school friends show up, and next thing you know, you're second, third year in college, everybody's calling you Corky, and then you go to work, and it's kind of the same thing happens. So it's one of those things where I'm not ashamed of it, and I don't mind it, but it definitely, it's funny, it catches up to you in life. So I think at this point, everybody calls me, Corky. And then the whole point about Team Cork is our neighbors saw the support that we have, and they basically nickname my support team of family, friends, and Team Cork. And that was the original premise behind Team Cork. And when we started the charity, we were looking for a name, and that kind of stuck.
It kind of stuck. Great. Yep. Well, again, Chris, thank you for coming on Around the Clock. Thank you for sharing your story. Please go take a look at their website, and if you feel like donating and supporting, I do know that Lori Tosti, who's on our school committee, is also a volunteer. And
she's actually on the board.
And she's on the board of your organization, so great. Thank you again, Corky, for coming to Around the Clock.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, we'll be back with more.